Hello and welcome back to another episode of Civic Reviews with Cinematic Sterling. The series where I sit in my Civic and just talk about a movie I just saw in the theater. And I just got out of seeing the new Kevin Smith movie. It's called The 4:30 Movie. So I'm a massive Kevin Smith fan. You know, being from New Jersey myself. He's made some of my favorite movies of all time. His Clerks trilogy, Dogma, Chasing Amy. I fucking love this. I fucking love this guy's work. And I saw the trailers for this, and it looked like a lot of fun. And I had to drive to another theater in order to go see it because this was the only Regal it was playing at. It wasn't playing at the main one I go to. And when it comes to movies made by directors I try not to go in with a lot of bias. Like, I will fully admit when a filmmaker I love or an actor I love makes or stars in a bad movie. Like with Tim Burton. I'm a huge Tim Burton fan. I can name a bunch of movies from Tim Burton I don't like. Just like how I can do that with Kevin Smith. But this movie is not one of them. I fucking love this movie. It's a semi biographical movie, kind of based on his on Kevin Smith's childhood. You know, with his love of filmmaking and his love of the theaters. In a way, I kind of saw myself with the main character in this movie. You know, just this nerdy, dorky kid who loves the theaters, loves the theater experience. And I still do. You know, ever since COVID, you know, movie theaters have been dying out because streaming has been taking over. But I don't know, man. I still love going to my theater every week. You know, to me it's a better viewing experience. Sure, you got to deal with idiots, but there's just something magical and wonderful about it. But I really liked the characters in this. They were all very likable, very funny. I loved the cameos. Because Kevin Smith typically has a lot of cameos from some of his regulars. You see Jason Mewes, you see Justin Long, you see his daughter. It is very funny. There's a lot of metaphors in this movie. I'm trying to think of the word. Because they say a lot of lines that are kind of like poking fun at stuff that actually happens later on. Because they make a Star Wars joke. Theater patron says, Star Wars sucks. It would be like if they made 3 more after the original trilogy and made a bunch of shows. Like those kinds of jokes I thought were hilarious. Yes, there was a lot of them. And typically I would be like worn out by them, but because the writing was so clever and I was just invested in this simple story, I didn't mind. Simple is not a bad thing. That's why I love that's a big reason why I love the first Clerks so much. It's a simple movie. It's just about a day in the life of these 2 guys who work in a convenience store. Whereas this movie, is about these 3 friends who sneak around in a movie theater, and one of the friends has asked out this girl he likes, and they're trying to sneak into this movie, but they just keep running into all of these situations, including the manager who's a fucking asshole. Ken Jeong, man. Typically, I don't think Ken Jeong is that funny, but he was cracking me up as this this stick up his ass manager. He was really fucking funny. Do I have any issues with this? Any major issues with this movie? I do have a little bit of a nitpick. It does feature a cliche that I don't really like in movies, and that's I call it the sad montage, where the couple or the friends, they fight, and they're walking away from each other, and they're all sad, and they just, and there's like a pop song that plays. I'm kind of sick of that. I'm kind of sick of that trope. But since this takes place in the 80s, I can see why they're using an 80s cliche. But other than that, like I said, I really loved this movie. This is a movie made for the movie lovers, the lovers of the cinema, the theaters. And I greatly appreciate it. I think Kevin Smith did a great job with this movie. Honestly, I'm giving this a 5 out of 5. Outside of the sad montage, I can't really think of any major problems with it. But if you're a fan of Kevin Smith, I say give this a watch in the theaters. But considering the theatrical release is very, very limited, I would say wait for it to hit streaming. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the 4:30 movie. Let me, if you've seen this movie, let me know what you think, and see you later.